big shout out to OneNation. I was an at-risk kid myself growing up, and I know the importance of having people that I look up to, older people, look out for me, people that I felt like that really, really cared about me and did not consider me to be just another nuisance. So big shout out to y'all, man. I respect what y'all doing. Y'all keep doing it. Salute. Growing up in Houston, life for me was insufficient. It was pretty hard, as you can imagine it would be for anybody growing up in an impoverished community. Insufficient living, insufficient income, insufficient love, insufficient clothing, food, et cetera, and a cashmere sweater. You dig what I'm saying? It was tough. But the cool thing about it was that it gave me my tenacity that I had. It made me the person that I am in terms of being relentless. You know, some people say, if you hadn't experienced everything that you experienced, you wouldn't be who you are. And I agree, but I would add something to that. Had I had more love, better preparation, had I been in a school where the teachers actually loved doing what they were doing and they had the support of the government, support from the school board, parents, so on and so on, even the students, I probably would be even a better version of myself. So, you know, it was hard, but that's what it was, and that was the road that I had to take to get to where I am. One of the biggest obstacles that I had to figure out how to overcome was conflict resolution. Because I was taught to settle conflict with fist and guns and insults. That's just the way it was. That's what I learned growing up. And I pretty much mastered it for many, many years. And I use it as a defense mechanism to survive. Because oftentimes, if you show any type of weakness growing up in a tough community, people are going to take advantage of it. They're going to roll on it. So you can never show weakness, ever, ever. So there was times when I had to fight guys that I really didn't want to fight. These dudes were bigger than me, much bigger than me. In fact, I very seldom fought a guy that was in my weight class. I typically would fight guys that were 200 plus pounds. And growing up, for most of my teenage years, I was under 165 pounds. But I would consistently beat these dudes because I didn't want to lose. I hated the idea of losing. I didn't want to be talked about. I didn't want to be humiliated. And I just didn't want to be embarrassed. And growing up in Fifth Ward, if you get whooped in Fifth Ward, they're going to let you know. Like, you're not going to be able to lose a fight and people not remind you of it every day. You can be at the burger shop or the burger stand with your buddy, and you can ask them to buy you some French fries, and he can say no, and then you can get mad about it, and he'll be like, "Motherfucker, you didn't say that shit when when Lil Rob whooped your ass 2 years ago, that like they'll never let you forget it. They'll never let you live it down. So I just always had pride in making sure that nobody embarrassed me. And if they did, I made sure that I paid them back 10 times over. And yeah, I remember like fighting these dudes. People used to think that I was just really brave. It was really that I was brave. It was that I was afraid of losing. I just did not want to lose. So being afraid gave me like this like crazy amount of strength where I would like pick dudes up, 250-pound dudes, and pick them up and just slam them to the ground. Like whoop them real good, like convincingly. And I did that because I did not want to lose. So that was a big thing for me, trying to learn how to resolve conflict resolution, trying to get to that point to where I could know how to handle myself. And everything, every situation wasn't really a fight. I realized also that I was putting myself in situations where I really didn't have to be in, and I was fighting when I really didn't have to fight. It's like if you go to a place that you know that people are rowdy and people don't really know how to behave, people don't really know how to act civilized, that's really not smart to do. But when you're young, you feel like that's what happens is, that's where everybody's hanging out, I'm going to hang out. And that's really not consistent with a person who values their life. No way possible would I do something like that today without going in with the proper security measures in place. Yeah, when I started boxing, I went to the YMCA when I was 11 years old. And they laced me up and I knocked this dude out, the best guy that was in the gym at the time. And he was in my weight class. And well, actually, no, he wasn't in my weight class. He was like a weight class above me. And I knocked him out. I hit him in the nose, blooded his nose. And coach got mad at me. Oh, what the hell are you doing? Are you crazy? So I just felt like I had to whoop somebody to really show that I belong. So I put a whooping on him. And after that, about 2 weeks later, I entered my first tournament. And I knocked the dude out in the first round. Gave me a trophy. And grown folks were cheering. And I was like, damn, grown folks were actually cheering for me. That was the first time grown folks like didn't get mad about me fighting. So I was like, this is cool. And then the girls that were in the audience, they liked it. So I was like, yeah, I can do this. And so for the next several years, I continued to fight. And that really kept me out of a lot of trouble too. I still got in a fair amount of trouble, but for the most part, I stayed out of trouble because I was boxing. And that's something that I like to pass on to people all the time when they have children. It's very, very important to get your kids involved in extracurricular activities because, like they say, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. All of us as human beings, we love attention. People like to be recognized. Even the ones that say they don't. People love to be recognized. Even if they don't want to be on the scene, they don't want to be seen. They want to be recognized when they do things. So if they don't get recognition in a positive manner, they're going to get it in a negative manner. That's why you see sometimes you see the kid that's out there playing ball or whatever, he finds his groove and he says, I've got to do this. And he becomes a star athlete and he puts all of his energy into that. He's getting a lot of positive recognition. By the same token, you can take a young lady who she's smart, she's pretty sharp, looks good and everything. And she may get recognition, but when she starts taking her clothes off and showing more cleavage and showing more But in being more provocative, dressing more provocative, all the wolves come out. And she gets not only the positive attention, she gets negative attention also. And she oftentimes confuses that with importance. And so you got to be very, very careful. But it's very important that kids get involved, young people get involved in extracurricular activities. Find something that you know how to do, that you do well, and that you can be recognized for. Because all of us got something that we can do just as good or better than anybody in the world, and actually get paid at doing it. We just got to recognize what that is. And I can tell you the easiest way to recognize your gift is to understand what comes natural to you that other people find difficult to do. That's your gift. Where I transitioned to hip hop from boxing was that when I was in the 10th grade, me and some buddies were hanging out listening to Run DMC. And there's probably about 10 of us hanging out. And Steve Mayweather suggested that he and I could do what Run DMC was doing. I had never thought about rap. And I listened to their rhyme scheme, and I was like, well, it don't sound too complicated. And when the guys challenged us to actually do it, he went into his house, and I went into my house for 1 hour. We came out. He said his rap, everybody started laughing. When I said my rap, he started raising the eyebrow. And he was looking around. So it was at that moment that I felt like I had something. So from there, I rapped that same 8 bars that I had for about 6 months. Dudes would come to battle me. They come knock on my door and stuff, trying to battle and stuff. So when I would battle them, I'd bust my little 8 bars, and then I'd be like, oh, you know what, man, you ain't even worth it. I ain't gonna even mess with you, dog. You know, they didn't know that's all I had, but I had a cold 8. So I would smash on them for that 8, and then I'd like run them off. And after a while, I started like, I was like, man, I think I better start writing a little bit more before everybody catch on to what I'm doing. So I started writing a little bit more. I wrote 12 bars, then 16, and then so on and so on. And the little rap, the little rhyme became a rap. And then from there, I started writing more songs, and I started competing in contests. And I started competing at this place called Rhinestone Wrangler in Houston. People used to come from all over to compete. They would come as far as from New York to California to compete in this contest. Vanilla Ice used to come down from Dallas to compete in the contest. And I remember him coming like on 4 different occasions. He would come and he'd get in the contest. The contest was called Rap Attack. And it was a 2-part competition. The first part, you say your rap, regular rap, and you try to get into the finals, which was the part where you rank on each other. This is the battle part, ranking on each other. So they would always cheer for Vanilla Ice to get into the battle part, even when the rap that he was saying wasn't really all that cold, because they wanted me to smash him. And I smashed it. Now, the funny thing about it was that Vanilla Ice was very, very bold, like very self-assured. And I like that. I like that about him. He didn't back down. I mean, he really felt like he was supposed to win those contests. Each and every one of them felt like he should have won. The crowd thought differently. I did too. But that's the story. Yeah. Yeah, the Rap-A-Lot days. I tell you what, in the beginning, it was very, very cool. It was very much we kind of like soldiers. It was like us against the world. It was real. It was very, very organic. It was like, man, this rap a lot. Get out the way. These ghetto boys, get out the way. Roll the foe. Stay down or lay down. That was our attitude. So, yeah, in the beginning, yeah, everything was real cool, man. You know, before the money, the ego, and all that stuff came. It was real, real cool. You know, the way I do that is I always think to myself that somebody is listening to me for the first time. And I want that person to be impressed. I want them to say, oh, like every time somebody hit me for the first time, I want them to be like, whoa. So I'm always trying to convert a man. You know, it's like any top company out there that pays attention to customer service. They give a great experience every single time they put their product out there. Because not only do they want to retain the fans that they have, they want new fans. They want the fans that they already have to be impressed and to continue to be impressed. But they also want to convert new fans. And that's the way I approach it. If I get on a song, do a feature, I never just do a feature on another artist's record and half-ass do the song like some artists, like many artists do. Every time I get on that song, I'm going in. I'm going in like I got a gun in my head. Like somebody got a gun in my head saying, this shit better be dope, I'm gonna blow your motherfucking head off. That's the way I rap. I go in with that same mentality every time. So I think that when you go in like that, and you're willing to give the people more, they'll reward you. And I think you can have a long career, a long successful career, if you approach it that way. Oftentimes, the record is done, I go back in and listen to the whole album. Like, I think I can do that better. Or maybe I should put like a commercial break right here. Or put something in this song. You know, the way I often do, like, even, you know, I think about the song we did on the Ghetto Boys record, Foundation album, I said. That was a song we had called I Tried. And I went back in the studio. Like, the song was dope. It was already dope. And I went back in the studio and I was like, ooh, 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 ooh. I just added that little thing to it. Just a little bitty thing, you know? And it was one of the things that stands out in the song. When you do that, you pay attention to customer service, I think people will reward you because, and that's why people continue to ask for a new Ghetto album. They ask for a new Willie D album because they know what they're gonna get. Like, even though it's been a long time since we put out any new music, they know what they're gonna get because we've proven time and time again that it doesn't matter if we haven't put out a record in a year or 5 years or 8 years, or now we're going to have years. When we do put out something, it's going to be dope. Yeah, these policies that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are pushing, they're all the same. It's just rhetoric. It ain't really, they're just talking. These are just talking points that you have to have to win elections. There's no real meat behind these policies. There's an old saying, if you want to know what somebody would do in the future, a good indication is what they've done in the past. Hillary Clinton is so black people a lot of time and time again. I don't know why the hell black people are voting for this. I don't get it. I just don't understand why they would choose Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders. Hillary Clinton is a staunch advocate for locking black folks up. You know, she called our black men predators, our young men. She called them super predators not too long ago. When she was a law student, she was a big proponent for some of the biggest races in the country. You know, she went out there and advocated for these people. She helped promote campaigns. She has not been a good friend to the black community. I don't understand why the hell black people are voting for Hillary Clinton. I just don't get it, unless it's got something to do with this whole emasculation thing going on. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, this whole thing about you know trying to pick somebody who you think is that does not have like an aggressive bone in their body or whatever. You know, I mean, I've seen some things that Hillary's done. For myself, I know she's aggressive. I know she got some evil in her. She got some dirty ways. But I don't understand why people. I just don't understand why people are voting for her. It just doesn't make sense, especially when you put her next to Bernie Sanders. I have no idea. You know, Bernie Sanders was marching with black folks in the 60s. Bernie Sanders was marching with black folks in the 60s, you know, and Hillary Clinton was writing love letters to racist Republicans. Writing letters in support. Now, I mean, I just don't get it. And as far as Donald Trump is concerned, Donald Trump got one policy, and that's to get money. And that's to get money for himself, not you. You know, what's funny is that people that are in the middle income bracket, they're white and black and Hispanic and so on and so on, saying that they're voting for Donald because he's about money. And they think because he's getting money and they got businesses or whatever, he's going to help their businesses. He's not going to help your business. I can guarantee you 8 years from now, look back at this and you're going to be like, damn, he was right. I didn't get shit out of this. And what's funny is that many of the same people that accuse Democrats of handouts, wanting handouts, that's exactly what they're sitting back waiting on Donald Trump to do, get him some handouts. They want handouts. These middle income people, these business people, they want handouts. But then they want to get mad at the poor people when they ask for assistance. It's amazing. But in this country, we don't vote for the person who's the best person for the job. We vote for who we think can beat the other guy. That's the way we vote. For somebody to say, I'm not going to vote for Bernie Sanders because he's old, he may die. Okay, President of the United States is not going to die on the job. He might die the day after the job. But they'll do everything in their power to make sure the President of the United States does not die on the job. They got the absolute best healthcare plan in the universe. President of the United States is not going to die on the job. At least not by natural causes. The youth are upset, man. The youth are mad. I don't understand why people who are older like to say that the youth don't really understand what's going on. Hell, they ain't really supposed to understand what's going on. They're young, but they want to do something. They want to do something. I say something is better than nothing. I say fighting is better than laying down, getting your ass whooped, or sitting back complaining about it, talking about it, just talking. The youth don't have a plan. The youth don't have a plan. The youth don't have a plan. Well, what's your plan? You know, People love to say how the youth is lost. Well, if the youth is lost, who lost them? The generation before them and the other generations. If they're lost, that's who lost them. So how do you find them? When you lose your kids, do you sit on the couch and complain about losing your keys? Or do you get your ass up and go try to find them? That's the way we need to do when it comes to the youngsters. See, the youngsters know when you care. And they know when you buy something. And they do respect it. You know, or do we have a certain element out there of youngsters who have no respect for nothing? Yeah, of course we do. And that's sad because those youngsters are going to be dealt with. They think they're invincible. But they will be dealt with, especially in the United States. We got a bad military. Ooh, we got a bad military. And we got some cold-blooded cops out here, and cold-blooded judges, and cold-blooded prosecutors who don't mind giving your ass 7,000 years. Relax. They do not mind sticking a needle in your arm and juicing you up. They do not mind emptying a clip on you and reloading and emptying another clip on you. They have no problem with it. Doesn't matter if you're 7 feet tall, 400 pounds. If they don't have a box that fits you at the local mortuary, they will build a custom one. It's going to cost your family a little bit more money, but they will build one for you. If they can't build one for you, they'll put you in the sanctuary and in one of those what do you call it, cremation deals or whatever. They'll just burn your ass up. Or they just throw you in a hole. But they will deal with you. You ain't that bad. You ain't as bad as you think. So the best thing for you to do is get your shit together. Because they're going to get you. Sooner or later, you will be stopped. They will stop you. If you out there living reckless, you haven't been stopped yet, it's just that right now they got bigger fish to fry and they ain't got around to you. If somebody ain't killed you out there and you got there being real reckless, the only thing you can chalk it up to is favor and a little luck. But you ain't bad as you think you are. They will get you. So that's the sad part about it. Because we got so many youngsters out there that are reckless that have potential. I was reckless. I had a lot of potential. And thank God, you know, I was able to make something out of myself. I was able to hang in there long enough and avoid some of the traps that were set out there for me. I was able to make that left when I could have made that right. And I avoided some things. But make no mistake about it, I know it was divine intervention in many cases, in many situations. So don't ever think it's all you. Don't ever think you wake up and you calling your own shots and you big and you bad and you did this yesterday, you got away with it, that means you're going to get away with something today, and tomorrow it ain't going to work like that. Best thing, these people got these traps out here set up for you. They want you to walk into the traps. They don't want you to finish high school. They do not want you to go to college. They don't want you to have a good job. They do not want you to take care of your children. Yeah, I said it. They don't want you to take care of your children. When they complain about you not taking care of your children, that's just a defense mechanism for them to justify you getting whatever you got, whatever punishment you've been getting or whatever shortcomings you have. That's their justification. You did it to yourself. They do not want to see you get educated. They do not want to see you have a vibrant, loving family. They don't want to see you married. They do not want to see you taking care of your children. They don't want to see your children having a successful life. They want you dead. They want you in prison. They want you on paper so that they can control you. And if I were you, I would do everything in my power to circumvent that. If you are selling dope today in America, you got to be the biggest damn fool on the planet. Because these days, they don't have to catch you with dope. They got this thing that they call, now, and I know the dealers know what I'm talking about, called ghost charges. These are ghost dope charges, meaning that they ain't got to see you with the dope. They ain't got to catch you selling. They don't have to mark any money that you receive or nothing. All they got to do is have somebody point at you, like the Jackson 5. And your ass is out of here. Because what they're going to do, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to pull your finances. Let's see what this old guy, let's see what little booby doing over here. He got this kind of car. We live in this house. And he hasn't filed taxes in 5 years. Damn. Okay, look. Oh, whose name is it? Oh, he got it in his mama name. See, back in the day, you could play that game when you put stuff in your mama name and be cool with it. Or your girlfriend name, or grandmama name. It was cool. Not anymore. Put it in your grandmama name, your mama name, your grandmama and your mama going to jail. They're going to make your grandmama and your mama tell them how they paid for a $200,000 vehicle and they're living on a fixed income. They want to know. And if they can't prove it, they can't show those tax returns. Tax returns don't add up. With that cost of that vehicle, cost of that car, your ass going to jail. Your mama going to jail. Your wife going to jail. Your little side piece going to jail. Your girlfriend going to jail. Everybody going to jail. Yeah, they putting grandmamas in jail and they ain't tripping at all. You're going to jail. They want you. The best thing you can do is take that entrepreneur spirit, get your ass off the streets, and go to straight and narrow. Get it the right way and build something so that you can have something long-lasting for your babies, something that you can actually pass down for your babies so that they can have a better shot than you had. Because I know we like to say how much we love our children, and I'm not really disputing that. But when you really think about real love, what real love is, the idea would be to be there for your children, not to put yourself in situations where you're going to get removed from your children. You end up in prison for a bunch of years, or you end up dead, or whatever. Maybe you end up in a gang or whatever. Maybe you end up motionless, quadriplegic or something. And you can't walk, you got kids, but you can't play with them. All you can do is look at them. So if we really, really love our kids like we say we do, we're going to make sure that we're there for them. We're not going to put ourselves in these positions where we can't be there for them. Because these other dudes that come in and replace us, they ain't going to love your daughters and your sons like you going to love them. They just not. For the few stepdaddies out there, that small little minute percentage, hey man, thumbs up to you, salute. But the vast majority, they're going to come in to fuck your woman. They're going to beat on your son. After a while, they're going to be looking at your daughter the same way they look at your wife, your ex-wife or your girl. And they're going to get with her. And you ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. Not even make a phone call and tell your partners to go handle it. Because out of sight is out of mind. You know how it go. You go to jail. The little partners that you had in the streets, all that's on hold. You'd be lucky to get a damn letter, let alone a visit or some money on your books. You're on your own. All this shit is a facade, man. All this gang, family shit, this is a facade, man. It ain't real. It's not real. It's my homies, it's love, it's not real. If it was really your homie not gonna really put you in a position where you can be murdered. Your homie gonna tell you, man, you getting ready to look at it like this. If your homie saw you getting ready to walk out into traffic, would he allow you to just walk out in traffic and get ran over? Or would he try to snatch you, grab your back, and say, oh, hold up, whoa, whoa, whoa? Which one would he do? See, when you say, when you're doing something reckless and your homie just allow you to do it, what kind of love is that? If that's love, that's some sick ass love, and I don't want it. You gotta ask yourself these questions. See, a real homie gonna say, hold on, homie. I don't think that's cool, man. You know how that's gonna end. You know where that's gonna go. You know what that's gonna lead up to. Join that gang, you know how that's gonna go. Sell that dope, you know how that's gonna go. You go rob that bank, you know how that's gonna go. Why even give them the ammunition? They want you to do that. Why would you do? The idea is to do exactly what they don't want you to do. You want to stick it to the man, do exactly what they don't want you to do. Do exactly what he don't want you to do. Be a man to your children. Stay free. Get a job. Or create your own business. Be loyal to your woman. Don't throw trash out on the damn ground in the neighborhood. Don't ride through the neighborhood and shoot up the neighborhood. Go to school. Sit your ass in the classroom and be quiet. And get your lesson. It ain't that hard. Be respectful to your elders. Be respectful to your teachers. Get the lesson and move on to the next level. Get the lesson again. Move on to the next level. Get your own. Create a business. It ain't hard to create businesses these days. It's never really been hard to create a business. You just got to understand that you got to crawl before you walk sometimes. Oftentimes you got to crawl before you walk. So instead of saying, okay, I need $10,000 or $50,000 to start this business, maybe you start a business with $20. So you weren't ready for that much. See, start that business with $20. I know a dude that ain't got no legs, and he sell water and M&Ms. This guy's a millionaire. He sell water and M&Ms on the corner, on the street corner in Houston. See, people will often give you more money, because every time I see them, I always give them more. You know, if I buy, I never buy water, but I like M&Ms. So if I buy some M&Ms, I pull out a $5 and bam, he only charging me $1, but I give him a $5 bill. See, people often give you more when they see that you're out there earning an honest living. Often you end up with more than you would standing around with a damn sign or trying to go rob somebody, walking out with $10,000. Then you get 10 years. You get 10 years for $10,000. That comes out to $1,000 a year. That means you made less than $100 a month over 10 years. So that ain't really a smart way to do it if you're talking about getting money. If you want to get money, the best way to do it, man, is to get it where you ain't got to look behind your back. Well, let's get something straight. If you're in the United States, you're experiencing racial bias. I don't know what it is with people up top who look down at the South and say, ooh, I ain't going down there. They got it bad. It's bad all over the United States. The United States of America operate under a system of white supremacy. It is rooted in white supremacy. So it's the same all over the United States. It's just that in the South, it's even worse. Some parts of the South that is even worse. So it has stunted many people's growth in the South, but it's a lot of people out here that ain't having it. Like we ain't, you know, there's a lot of people out here that ain't bootlickers. There's a lot of people out here that ain't sitting around wallowing in sorrow. Like they out here getting it. You know, some of our most successful people that are in the world today, that are in the United States, come out of the South. A lot of cats that are up top came from the South. A lot of people who live up top right now, their mamas and their grandmamas and daddies and granddaddies come from the South. So if you're up top, whatever kind of strength, endurance, whatever type of mentality that you have that gives you that go-getting type spirit, it's rooted in your ancestry from the South. So yeah, it's still a lot of racism down in the South, but man, look around, man. Eric Gardner was in New York City. Oscar Grant was in California, in Oakland, California. You dig? Like this shit is happening all over the United States. This racism is out of control all over the United States. And you know the sad thing about it is that as a nation, we've always done better when we look out for each other and we come together as one. We've always been better as a nation when we look out for each other. It's when we think we can do it on our own and we don't need each other, is when shit start getting chaotic. And we start pointing fingers at others and saying, you're the reason why I don't have anything. You know, or we look at somebody else and because we having a problem financially, we look at somebody else and we look at their rise and we say, well, I don't have anything because you got it. So we're just some backwards ass people, and our species is really backwards. Because if you look at all the other species, every other species in the world, from damn gorillas to birds to dolphins to whales to turtles, every other species has evolved for the better. Not our species, not the human race, not the ones that's in the United States, not us here. We keep taking one step forward and three steps backwards. We're not learning from our past experiences at all. And somehow we think that we can repeat the same old shit and somehow end up further along. I don't get it. Yeah. You know, the biggest factor, I believe, that has stunted the growth in the Black community is systemic racism. They don't want us to have shit. The police is a big part of it. You see, the police, they come off as the good guys. They come off as, oh, we're the good guys. We're the police. We're here to help. We're here to help. But growing up, I never seen the police wave in the neighborhood. Every time I ever seen the police say anything, it was always in an authoritative manner. It was always, they were always aggressive. Get outside of the hood, police wave to you, nice, know you by name, see your name. It's cool. It's like a total different element. And you can't say that everybody in the hood is violent, wild. That's a lie. Most of the people in the hood are good people. Most of the people in the hood are good people. Just like I do believe that most people outside of the hood are good people. But you got some dirty, low-down ass people that's outside of the hood too that live in some of these very, very nice homes, these very nice communities, very evil people. But they don't get put on blast. You know, when they do something, they want to go in and they want to investigate. They want to send a psychiatrist in. They want to examine their head, find every kind of excuse in the world, but to just say this motherfucker is evil. But when it comes to the hood, it's always an issue. I think the biggest problem has always been systemic racism. It's always been those people who take part in upholding white supremacy. When they see black people doing well, when they see the Crips and the Bloods ain't fighting, they got to go in and they infiltrate and they create chaos. And they say, hey man, this guy said this guy killed your brother. They got this guy, you know, you better do this here to him, or if you don't do it to him, we're going to lock you up, you're going to jail. Or he said this about you, and he said this about you, and the next thing you know, the war is on again. It wasn't enough for black people to be in the house together and not you know, the black family to be a cohesive unit, even though they were struggling. That wasn't enough. They had to go in and take the black man all the way out of the house. So they said, here, take this check, black woman, take this welfare check, but he got to get out of the house. Why would anybody do some shit like that? Why would somebody do something like that? Tell you, if you want any type of assistance from us, if you want any type of assistance, you know you can't get a job, your man can't get a job, you can't get a job because we ain't giving you no jobs. But we'll give you this check, but under one condition, he got to be out of the house. This was planned. This was a plot to destroy the black family. The government did this. They did it. They approved of it. It was government sanctioned. They knew what they were doing. And so then once you take the black man out of the house, then you try to blame the black man for not being in the house. After you condition him to be on his own and be outside of the house. After you condition the black woman not to have her man in the house. Then you want to blame the black fathers for not being there with their children. When you wouldn't give him jobs, you wouldn't give him a job, and you wouldn't give him a job, so you told him, get out of the house. You're not going to give him a job, and then you're going to blame him for his own oppression. You're going to blame him for not being in the house. That's why black people need to create their own damn jobs. We need to stop going to school to get an education to get a job. We need to start going to school to get an education, to own our own businesses, to create our own jobs. Stop just going to school and thinking these people are going to hire you. You got to go out there, get it, and come back with it. Create your own. You really want to have financial stability. You want to have financial growth. That's the way you do it. Create your own land. Create your own jobs. It ain't that hard. You just got to have it. You just got to switch your mentality. Say, I'm going to get it. I'm not going to wait on you to give me no job. I'm going to go get it. That's the mentality. Coon is anyone who would sell out their race for the acceptance of monetary gain from others. Also, a coon is people who reinforce negative stereotypes about their race. And a coon is also someone whose criticism of their community outweigh their contributions to it. One of the most surefire ways to end poverty is to educate yourself. Education is the primary vehicle that most people use to gain access to things in the world. So with education, you can find yourself opening doors that you never thought that were available for you to open. So education is very, very important. I've been educating my kids since before they were in the womb. I can't tell you how important that is. So that's why if you have an opportunity to sit in a classroom and get that information, you need to take full advantage of it and not be like I was when I was in high school. I was a damn class clown in high school. I did not understand that every class have a class clown, and that had I just sat back and got my lesson, I could have let somebody else be the class clown. I would still got the laugh, but I wouldn't have been kicked out of school or sent to detention. And then now I got to try to catch back up because I was acting a fool. So it ain't that hard to sit in that classroom, get that information, and get on out of there. Get what you need. Do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do later. I don't have any particular organization that I'm aligned with. I do have organizations that I work with from time to time, and I just take them on a case by case. If I see something that interests me and that I have to be passionate about it, I get down with it. It's got to be right. I'm not just gonna jump on anything. Like some people have these great ideas for charity organizations and things like that, nonprofit organizations, but they have no organizational skills. They're totally unorganized. And for me, I don't have the time to try to teach somebody how to organize the organization that they're passionate about. So if somebody come to me with the right thing, and I like what they stand for, I like what they got going on, and I feel like things are going to be done in an orderly manner, I get down. I got a new album coming out later this year. We'll drop it in the last quarter. I'm putting out a new mixtape series called Certified Street Bangers, where I'm putting on new artists. So if you got something hot you want to submit, you can go to my website, find information about it. It's at willied.com. You can catch me on all my social handles at willied.com. Also my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook. You just go to willied.com, click on that, you'll find me. And you can also catch me at Willie D on YouTube. Make sure you go there and subscribe because I got a whole lot of content on there. And I got a lot of fresh content also coming up. And I'm starting a new podcast called Willie D Live. So y'all make sure y'all check for that. And while you're checking, make sure you do your fair share of hunting coons. These coons gotta be stopped. These coons are dangerous. So you gotta make it dangerous for these coons to move around. Yes, these coons are dangerous. A lot of people see these coons and they go, well, why are you attacking the successful black people? Why are you successful? Let me tell you something, man. Just because somebody got money does not mean that they're successful. See, these coons are useless. They're waste. We don't need them. If somebody is not helping, they're hurting. You can't tell me that Stacey Dash is helping the black community. You can't tell me that Charles Barkley is helping the black community. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. These people are better off dead. Yeah, I said it. They're better off dead. Or just better off not speaking on us. Don't speak on the black community at all. And we be cool with that. But don't try to masquerade as a black person so that you can regurgitate white supremacist talking points and get away with it. We got enough successful black people out there that are doing it the right way, that has integrity, that is uplifting the community daily, that's working hard to help the black community shine.